here in Otley, Yorkshire to meet Kevin Hives, who is Sales Director of BBS Bricks and Stone. And we're going to be talking about some of the exciting projects they've been working on. Hi Kevin.
Hi.
Thanks for joining me today.
No problem.
I just wanted to ask, what did BBS do and what's your role here? I'm
Sales Director and I've been here since 2008, and we supply natural stone throughout the UK. We have a UK arm, if you like, but we also have an imports arm, so we can supply the whole range of global stones, and that will include anything from granites, York stones, sandstones, basalts, limestones, the whole gambit. So yeah, whatever you need, we can come to us and we can supply it.
So obviously, I've seen the Coventry project that you did firsthand, which looks amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
I just wanted to know, how did you become involved with that project?
We initially became involved where our sales team went out to Coventry Council and were doing a bit of sales pitch, if you like, and said, look, you know, we're BBS, we're great, we can do this. And the client bought into the fact that they liked what we did, they liked the way we procured our materials. They took to the sales team, and then when it came to the point of a large scheme being put together, we got the phone call to become involved with the specification, the sampling, and ultimately supplying the scheme.
And on the note of kind of specification, can you tell me more about the materials that you used and sort of the, you know, why you used them, their properties, for example?
Yeah, the client gave us a brief on the durability, water absorption, colour ranges, types of stone they're interested in. And they ultimately decided they wanted to go with a yellow buff Portuguese granite because they wanted to stay with the European theme. And to contrast that on a durability element, they wanted to go for an Italian porphyry. They liked the warmth, they liked the depth, it had a richness to it. But as I say, contrasting the violets and the reds and the browns with the yellow, it worked really well with the colour scheme, and also worked with the water features that were going to be sort of embedded within the yellow granite.
Has that given you a new appreciation of like public realm spaces and that kind of things? It made you think more about what they represent to a community?
It has, but it's surprising. What does surprise me is the reaction you get from the different communities.
Yeah.
That some love it, some don't like it, and I don't like this colour, I do like that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's why a designer, at let's say a local authority, does his job. Because he's got to decide what he believes is the best for that community.
For that community as a whole.
With Coventry and that kind of thing. There was blue reels in the middle of the paving.
Yeah, I saw them, yeah.
And that's because of the ribbon that used to be made in Coventry, so they tried to have a nod to the ribbon.
But that's it, because it all ties together perfectly, so it's not literally, here's a slab, is it?
No.
It's so much more than that. It's
far more than
bringing
that.
it all together.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think makes a successful public realm scheme? Obviously, you've talked about bringing in all these elements and making sure that the community enjoy it and interact with it. What makes it so successful?
I think you hit it on the head. I think it's the acceptance by the community at the end of it, because it's all very well to say, yes, it was supplied correctly, it was the right stone, it's got longevity.
Right, not everyone's going to be interested in that.
No, because that's the technical bit, and that's the bit that happens whilst we're getting the specifications done and the job done. Afterwards, it's the fact that the children are running around in the fountains and they're enjoying themselves. And it's the fact that the shoppers are coming through, and actually it's a nice place to be, and they stop and sit on the bench,
and they
have a conversation, and a community's building. So a successful project for me is the fact that it gets used and people actually take care of it afterwards.
Yeah.
And
it gives people that kind of renewed love for where they live, doesn't it? It makes 100%. Them feel really 100%. Proud.
And most of the time, it's places that need that regeneration.
Yeah.
That they spend the money on, the councils, because they want people to fall back in love with it, and they do.
So obviously, BBS have been involved in a lot of public realm schemes. Yes. What are the main challenges when you're taking on projects like that?
Many and varied, to be fair. I mean, each client, they're all different. They all have their ways of looking at things and different needs. You've got to factor in things like budgets for a start. Somebody may have restrictions on those sort of things, but even down to colour choices. You know, somebody might only want a certain colour that can come from a certain country, which again, people then say, well, okay, can you get that somewhere else? And we'll be saying, well, that's a challenge.
Yeah, so it's managing expectations.
Managing the expectations, that's the absolute key to it all. And that we're there to guide people through it. But yeah, the challenge is every day, but that's what we do. We handle them. Yeah.
So when we're looking at sourcing materials and obviously importing them, what can you do to ensure that the products that you bring in are ethically sourced?
It's something that's very close to my heart, I've got to be honest. It's something that's quite a passion of mine and has been for 16 years now. I've been leading that for BBS, and we're a very tight-knit community and our supply chains. It's very transparent. It withstands external scrutiny, and we're very happy to answer any questions on it. We always vet our suppliers. We go out personally, we audit the factories, not to the point where you end up with audit fatigue, but we just make sure that it's the right people in the right place, doing the right job, safely, fair wages, PPE is supplied, and if it's not, we're more than happy to do that. But we go beyond that. We don't just check the factories and the quarries. We like to then look at our whole supply chain. So we'll look at using, say, the TUC, who will help us on things like union agreements and freedom of association. And we use the ITF, International Transport Federation, to carry out health checks on our logistics side of the operation as well. So we feel that we go from point A right the way through to Z, and everything is checked in between. And we're quite happy to, show people that. We put it on our website, and it's something that I could stand on a soapbox and talk about all day.
So if a client came to you and said, oh, I'm kind of interested in material, I'd like to go and look at something in particular, could you, can you take them with you on a visit, or how does it work?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Again, we come back to the transparency side of things. We don't hide anything. We have taken varying clients on visits to anything from Portugal, Spain, Italy, China, Vietnam in the past, and all with varied levels of success in terms of order gaining, but all very, very successful in proving that what we're doing is done ethically and correctly.
And I think that's really important, and I'm really glad that you've raised a lot of those points, because I think there's a lot, for people to learn from that. The Coventry scheme that you worked on was for the City of Culture, and I understand you've also been involved in the Bradford City of Culture projects. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, we've got very proud of that one, actually. We've been working very closely with Balfour Beatty, and we've supplied over 12,000 metres of commercial type Indian sandstone. And this sandstone is of particularly high quality. We have a partnership with the suppliers in Jaipur. These guys are members of the Stone Federation.
You are as well, aren't you?
We are, yes, and again, very proud of that. And again, it's part of our ethical sourcing and part of our auditing that we want people who are registered to these recognised bodies. And they've got their ISOs and they've got their accreditations. And we're particularly proud of this partnership because we've also brought into a charitable side of their work. And as part of the Akshaya Patra charity, every square metre of stone that we buy from them, we will donate a meal to children in the Jaipur region.
That's amazing. It must feel really good to know that you're actually making a difference there as well.
Yeah, quite proud of it.
Yeah. I was wondering again, obviously you've worked on so many projects. Could you say what your favourite is? Are you able to say what your favourite is?
I think it'd probably be unfair to name just one. But a few of my favourites, I think, would be the All England Club at Wimbledon. That was a fascinating project to me.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Trying to work in with requirements of when they need the stone in terms of when the championships are on and when they're off, that kind of thing. Chelsea Barracks, that was another one, which was an amazing one to be involved with. The National Theatre, that was a fantastic
You're
product.
name dropping now.
Now and again, yeah. But they are particular favourites of mine, those three, I'd say,
Yeah. What you've done with Chelsea Barracks is beautiful because it's really seamless and it coordinates perfectly with the facades of the buildings. And that is a whole scheme, isn't it? It's bringing everything together seamlessly while retaining the character of it. So I'm not surprised you're proud of it.
I'm very proud of that one, yeah.
Are there any projects that you're working on that are in the pipeline that you can share with us?
There's plenty, really. I mean, the one that we've just finished is the New Bailey at Manchester, which is a fantastic project. It really, really looks nice. It's a UK Yorkstone, and it's just seamless. The sets, the paving, the colours, all matching with the facades of the buildings. It's a project that I'm particularly proud of for BBS.
It's that heritage connection, isn't it?
Sure.
You know, they know that it's local stone, and they can kind of, and in time, obviously, it just blends, doesn't it, with the surrounds?
Totally. And the old York stones that are down there, you give that a little bit of time and that will blend and it'll become totally seamless. But at the moment, it looks very crisp.
Yeah. But like when we talk about natural stone, I mean, obviously one of the great things about it is how it ages.
Yes.
So how do you feel when people say, oh, that natural stone looks a bit dirty, should we clean it? Because there's a whole thing between people saying you should let natural stone kind of be reclaimed by nature, you should let it wear and tear, or should you clean it? I mean, this is an interesting thing that I hear about more. What do you think?
I think there's two things. I think there's an ageing and there's a cleaning.
Yeah.
We would recommend that every project, particularly a new public realm scheme, would have a maintenance
The schedule kind of
schedule
thing.
to put together, cleaning it regularly, even down to sweeping and brushing, etc.
Yeah.
That will give you that crispness, and that will stay. It will still age.
Yeah.
But it won't. But you won't. You're not letting it get dirty. I think once it's got dirty and it's just full of grime, I said then it needs a complete strip back.
It's kind of that subtlety, isn't it? It's like, you want the stone to age, you want it to have that patina, but equally you don't want it bringing down, an area because that house is really dirty, for example. And I think there's delicate balance, isn't there?
Absolutely, 100% agree with that.
Yeah. So what do you enjoy most about working with natural stone? You obviously love it.
Very easy. It's natural.
Yeah.
I just like natural materials, wood, stone.
Yeah.
And natural materials I don't know, there's something inherent within a human being, I think, genuinely, that, you just want to get hold of things.
And it's because it's so tactile.
People like to carve, and there's that tactile nature to it.
Have you ever had a go at carving?
Yes.
How were you at it?
Awful. That's an honest answer.
Well, it's good to know. If anyone's watching this and they're thinking about giving you a job as a carver, they shouldn't.
I'd say no. No.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Kevin. It's been really good to hear about what BBS are doing at the minute and what you'll be doing in the future.
My pleasure. Thanks very much indeed.